I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Hello, everybody. If you're up here getting desserts and that, keep on doing that. I will not stand in the way of cupcakes, but I'm going to get started and kick us off with the toast this evening. My name is Danielle Sturtz, and I'm extremely honored to be standing beside my beautiful cousin, Karissa Anderson, almost a called shoot, this evening. And of course, very grateful and honored to be sharing this evening with all of you. So thank you so much for being here. So as I mentioned, Karissa and I are cousins. I'm her older cousin, and we go way back to the earlier days when we used to paint each other's nails and dig in each other's makeup boxes and pedal around Stearns Lake on floaties with our brothers while listening to Venga Boys on repeat and having all-night Wii dance-offs. And then, of course, to the later years when we lived in Stevens Point together, attended several Point Beer festivals, enjoyed many classy Taco Bell dates, planned our haircuts together so that we can indulge on Euros afterwards, rocked out at many concerts together. The list certainly goes on. And with so many memories, you can imagine how difficult it was to write a speech that honors Karissa in the way that she deserves. I could talk for hours, but for the sake of time and to not stand in the way of the party, I narrowed it down to 5 themes. So I'll start with the first, laughter. Karissa's sense of humor is one of many qualities that makes any time a great time. Many of our inside laughs together usually are tied to the most random of memories, like when we were geeking out in the up north kitchen while cutting our veggies for dinner, or the times that she kicked me off the tube while my parents cracked the whip around the lake, or when we choreographed a hand dance to Backstreet Boys' Larger Than Life on our way home from Stevens Point, or the time when we were obnoxiously singing I Would Walk 500 Miles while drinking lemonade and flinging popcorn around my apartment, followed by a series of prank calls with Arnold Schwarzenegger voiceovers. Thank you, Jesse's influence. Also note that I said lemonade, not vodka lemonade, in case any of you were wondering of that influence. I feel like I'm barely scratching the surface here. All of you have likely heard Karissa's laugh, and it is no doubt one of the most infectious and genuine sounds you will ever hear. She laughs with her whole heart and soul. Bottom line, it is impossible not to laugh and enjoy yourself when you are with Karissa. Youth. So as I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned this, I'm Karissa's older cousin, and growing up together, Karissa and I enjoyed many family events, up north vacations, and several mixed CD exchanges totaling at least 70 CDs, which dwindled in our adult years when we discovered this great thing called Spotify. I very often equate youthful with creative, and judging by all the decor of this wedding, you can see how creative Karissa truly is. From baking to painting to crafting to, redesigning an entire office in UW-Stevens Point, Karissa is no doubt one of the most authentically artistic people that I know. Karissa once said that she looked up to me growing up, and one of the highest compliments I've ever received, especially because I too look up to Karissa as one of the most inspiring people I know, hi baby, and my sweet voice of reason when I need it. Which brings me to love and loyalty. Karissa's talents, her spirit, and her genuine compassion are at the heart of everything, of every memory and gathering we are fortunate to have. She is one of the most, if not the most, thoughtful, caring, loving, selfless, and loyal people I know. She is there for her family and friends in the most supportive and meaningful of ways, and truly she is a cornerstone of our family. Being as genuine of a person as she is, it is no surprise to me that she's become so close with many of Jesse's and my close friends. It is hard not to love her, In fact, Jesse and I love Karissa so much that whenever Karissa comes to visit, we usually do everything we can and we come up with any viable excuse as to why she should stay just one more night. We simply could not love her more, even if she brings a little attitude. In our family, the running joke is to see how far we can push Karissa to give us the look. I know her father even captured it on video when Karissa discovered he was videotaping her while she was innocently dancing around the backyard. My mother almost got it out of her, teasing her relentlessly about her poor broken toe that forbid her from any water activities during our up north vacation. It's that look that says, I will cut you if you say one more word. I almost thought she outgrew the look until Evan insulted her artistic rendition of a corn cob at Wrong Days. That look came out in full force and he learned pretty damn quick. Yes, it was. The look is a surprise in the context of Karissa's everyday self, as she is one of the most kind-hearted people you'll ever meet. And speaking of that, that brings me to my fifth and final theme, surprise. Karissa and I have shared a number of surprises from the early days when I helped my Auntie Gina and Wendy in surprising Karissa and Jenna with fourth-row NSYNC concert tickets at Miller Park when they originally thought they were in the nosebleeds. To the later years when Karissa helped organize a surprise scarf party for my 30th birthday, a surprise flash mob at my wedding, also thank you, Allie, for that, or the times when Karissa and Evan surprised us by showing up at Lubinsky shindigs in Stevens Point while having us believe they wouldn't be able to make it, or lastly, the time when Karissa surprised me at the hospital and waited until the wee hours of the morning to meet Zora Jean when she was born, a surprise I will forever be very grateful for. During our younger years, Karissa and I would always sign off on our messages with the acronym LYLAS, which stands for Love You Like a Sis. And we don't use that sign off nearly as often anymore, and honestly, it's really hard to say I love her like a sister because I love her as my sister. And that being said, I truly could not be more blessed to stand by my sister's side today. So on that note, let's chat about my new brother, Evan. I met Evan several years ago at Wrong Days through my husband, Jesse, who, by the way, says that Evan met him their junior year when Jesse intercepted one of Evan's passes as the Cromwell High School quarterback. Jesse says he's seen the videos. I'm sure there are several others we can fact check with here. But anyway, I've always known Evan as the dude or duder or that freaking hilarious guy that everyone seems to love. When Evan started working with the railroad, his schedule got kind of crazy and he missed a handful of Wrong Days over the years, including Karissa's first Wrong Days. Karissa, Jesse, and I were on our way up to Cromwell for Karissa's second Wrong Days, and we spent a significant amount of our 5-hour drive telling stories about Evan as we were super excited to see him and excited that he could finally make it to Wrong Days. Among those stories included the time when Evan came barreling in while a bunch of us were sleeping and forcefully pile-drived his elbow into what he thought was one of the guys, but it was actually me. Or the time when Evan ran over a giant rock at the end of the Hendrickson driveway and we all pretended like it never happened. Or the time when Evan lost his shoes in Milwaukee. To no one's surprise, Karissa got a good laugh with all of these stories as we made our way up for Wrong Days. The weekend came and went, we all drank, we laughed, and Evan and Karissa hit it off really well. And afterwards, I think Evan and Karissa thought they maybe missed an opportunity. Until one day when Karissa was on a road trip out west with her dad, and she texted me for Evan's number as she saw a pair of random shoes laying on the side of the highway. So knowing this story, she decided to text him to give him a little grief, and truly I think that text message was simply the start of what brought us here today. Evan, we continue to give you so much crap about those missing shoes, but in reality and in some serendipitous way, I think you were meant to lose those shoes so you could find something or someone more fitting for you. Your sweet Karissa Dawn. Jesse and I have always described Karissa as a true catch in every sense of the phrase, and I feel I have added credibility to say this as a veteran catcher of the corn cobs. I've made a few game-changing catches in my day, with the exception of the black eye line drive to home plate. Thanks. Love you, Tommy. No matter how many more wrong days go by, I don't think anyone would dispute that you, Evan, made the best wrong days catch ever. And I feel like I've been anxiously awaiting this day for a long time, just knowing that whoever is lucky enough to marry Karissa has to be one heck of a dude. And lo and behold, Karissa found the dude. I thought I was blessed to be your friend, Evan, but even better, you get to be part of my family and make my sweet sister Karissa the happiest girl in the world. So, with that being said, if everyone could raise your glasses to the Andersons, may love and laughter be found in all you experience together. May you eventually find Pickle Rock. And may today be one of many amazing days in the rest of your life together. I'm beyond grateful that Hash Brown Karissa found her dude. Cheers.
Hello, everybody.
Excuse me. Great job, Daniel. Everybody, my name is Tom. I am the best man tonight, or the BM, as Karissa has been calling me. Best man is my title tonight, but standing up here with these guys in tuxes, it's just simply my turn to stand up here and say a few words about one of us. So, love yous, boys. For starters, I'd like to mention Ed and Gina and Vance and Sharon. They are the fine people who raised our couple tonight, and what a fine job they did. So. And we'll start with the bride, formerly known as KK, KA now. What can I say? Evan married a Packers fan. She's a catch. But everyone knows it. She's a catch. And the truth really is, Evan would have fallen for her no matter what team she was rooting for. Except for maybe the Cowboys. Tyler. And the dude. Duderino, his dudeness, we got a lot of them. I could stand up here and tell a lot of stories about him. Like the numerous times Vance has been called out of bed to come and pull him out of the ditch, with one of us in the passenger seat mostly. Or that time that Danielle mentioned in Milwaukee where he decided to take a cab without any money and had to pay the driver with his brand new shoes. We rode the whole way home barefoot, or you did. But besides telling stories, which I can fill you all in later on tonight on those stories, but I guess I'll just say this. Evan, to me, you've always been the kind of friend who never needed words. All you had to do was look at me and you knew what I was thinking. Usually it was some sort of bad decision. But other times it was to just crack a joke when I needed it or to tell me something I didn't want to hear, but needed to. Those qualities you have as a friend to me and to all of us up here, if you can translate those into a husband, or to being a husband, I should say, you and Karissa are in for a very long and happy marriage. And even if there is a disagreement, you guys can probably just decide who's right based on whose team has more Super Bowl wins. That's enough for me, though, tonight, though. So let's raise our glasses, whatever you got in them. Toast to a fine couple of people. My favorites. Love ya.
I'm Gina's father, Ed. I've known her since Karissa's father. Well, we'll back up a little bit. The song that we danced to before was sung by Gina's father. So she didn't have a father-daughter dance. It was somehow missed, so we went out there in honor of Grandpa Roy. So just a little mixed up there. So, but I was sitting there trying to think of how this day has gone. It's gone fantastic. It just came back to this is the day that the Lord hath made for you two. Everything has just gone fantastic. And I'm so happy for both of you. I think you found each other perfectly, although it was the wrong way to find each other, right? Wrong days. And then at the service today, you both made promises to each other that were fantastic. But I have a little story to tell for Evan. When Karissa was 4 years old, she really wanted a cat. And I said, no cat. And she goes, when can I have a cat? And I said, when you're 8. And a couple of years go by, and I thought we all forgot about the cat. She turned 8, and the first thing she said is, you promised me a cat. When do I get my cat? So I just want to warn Evan, she remembers promises for years. Okay? So I just want to say congratulations to both of you, and thank you. Best of luck.
Yeah, you're too body. Like, boom.
Just fit in the box over there.
Oh, I do have it. I also have a short toast to make that's kind of a family tradition back on my wife's side. So if everybody would raise their glasses, we have Nana Sirio would used to say this. Here's to those that wish us well, and those that don't can go to la 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 la.